What's up everyone? Today I want to talk to you guys about how I transport my NDSP Quad Cortex to performances pretty much wherever I need it. So let's get straight into it. So this is a case by a company called Monoprice, and it can be easily gotten on Amazon for about $75 with a full filling of pick and pluck foam. A couple of the features that you may care about are that this is a 22 by 14 by 8 inch outside and 20.1 by 14 by 8 inch on the inside. So you can definitely pack pretty much everything that you need in here. It does require a bit of thought though, and we'll get into that shortly. As far as the other features that you may care about though, it's IP67 dust and waterproof. It comes with a couple of colors, so you can get anything from black to orange. It also has a knob on the front, so if this thing does get sealed shut, if you're taking on an airplane or something like that due to pressure differentials, you can alleviate the vacuum by just turning the knob, so that's pretty nice. And this case is made in China. So, there's a couple of things that I really like about this case, and a few that I really don't, so let's get into that. So starting out with the cons, the biggest one for me is that the handle on the top of this thing is hollow. And you may say, why do I care? It's just a handle. Well, listen to this. As you can hear, it's really loud, and because it's so loud, I have to mind myself whenever I'm using this case to be sure that I'm not going to be startling somebody or making some sort of distraction whenever I show up to an event or whatever I'm doing for the day. The next thing that I'm not really a huge fan of are the latches. So these are one-step latches, so you basically just pull from the bottom and they'll open right up, but they're just friction fit, and it does take a little bit of force to open them. On the plus side though, I've been using this case for a couple of years now, and I've had absolutely no issues with them, so be that as it may, just take it into mind. Another thing is that the top of the lid doesn't lock super confidently, so there's a little bit of a bump, but I feel like if somebody knocks into this thing, or if the wind blows a little bit too hard, if your head is in there, it's probably going to get hit, and that's not really a comfortable feeling. And it's nothing like a nano case. So speaking of nano cases, this case doesn't even have an option for padded dividers, which I think would make this case a little bit more versatile and a little bit easier to set up. Finally, I just feel like there are too many ridges along the case that can really bruise your legs up if you're going to be walking with this thing for an extended period of time. They just stick out a little bit too far in my opinion, and they always seem to grab my legs. Take it or leave it. That's just my experience. But with all of the cons out of the way, I still really do like this case for what it is. It's not particularly expensive, and with the pick and pluck foam, you can pretty much customize the interior however you like. But with that being said, just be sure to leave enough cushion so that way if your Quad Cortex and accessories do end up jostling around in here, or you drop it or something like that, they're not going to be hitting right up against the plastic, since that could still damage them if the sides don't have enough cushion to absorb the force. Regardless though, I think that if you do customize the case the way that I have it here, you're going to be pretty happy with the result. So with that being said, let's go take a look inside. Alright, so here we are with the Monoprice case. So to open it up, latch there, latch here. Again, if you do take this on a flight or something like that and you need to alleviate pressure, you can just do that with this, just spin it counterclockwise to open it up, clockwise to close it. And we'll just lift this up. Again, like I said, it does have a little bit of a bump when you open it up, but it's not really that secure. So if you do end up having a really windy day, or somebody pushes this or something like that a little bit too hard, it's gonna fall over, so just mind your hands and your head and everything when you're working with this. All right, so this is pretty much the inside of my case, how I have it set up. So right here on the right, I have my Shure SE215s, in-ear monitors, and then right here I have the power supply for the Quad Cortex. Always make sure that you take that, of course. I also have a little 3.5mm extension cable, so you have your 3.5mm input jack. Then I also have my Carvin wireless system, so these are the WG5s, So transmitter, receiver, all that good stuff. Then in here in the top compartment, I have a 15-foot XLR to XLR cable. This is great for if you're working in a venue and you need to extend the XLRs from the board, so that way you can get a really nice position for the Quad Cortex. That is important. And then next up, we've got right here our little cables for TRS. So if you want to do any sort of work with the foot switch, that's what this is for. Quad Cortex, of course, is right up here. Note that I have this slanted. So this is a really important design that I came up with regarding how I actually fit everything together. If you don't have this at an angle, you're not going to be able to fit as much stuff as you would if you did. So just keep that in mind. So that's pretty much layer 1 gone over. And then if we just pull layer 1 out, you'll see below that we have our next layer. So on the bottom, this is just going to be a solid foam core here. So it is nice and plushy, and it's thick enough so that you're not going to be damaging anything if it's right up against there. All right, so on the bottom here on the left, it's a little bit hard to see, but I have a battery backup. So this is a 10,000 milliamp hour battery. This is just USB-A. And then charges with micro USB. It's a little bit old, but it's good to have in case you need to charge up your wireless system or something like that. Then I have the wireless system's USB splitter. So this is USB-A to 2 micro USBs. Again, really good to have that there. And of course, I have a USB-C to USB-B. So this is great for the Quad Cortex if you want to connect it to something like a Mac. You're definitely going to want to have one of these. This is a 6-foot cable, and yeah, basically connects straight to your Mac and to the Quad Cortex, so you don't have to be using adapters or things like that. Really, really recommend this. And then lastly, at the bottom, I have the Mission Neural DSP pedal. So that's how I have this case configured. So you can see here at the bottom, I have a little cutout here. This does extend all the way to the edge. So since it's just cables and stuff in here, I don't really particularly care if things don't have as much cushion. But then if we move here to the Quad Cortex area, so you can see here that on the left, this is 1 block wide beyond the border, and then this is 2 blocks wide beyond the border up here. So this will keep your Quad Cortex really, really secure. If you do end up dropping this case or something like that, the Quad Cortex is not going to be harmed at all. Then right here, we have a 1 block separation with a 1 block cutout here. So this is going to be for your wireless system. So 1 here, then I separate it by about 4 blocks, and then another 2 block cutout right there. Then for the Mission pedal, basically take out all of the foam all the way around and leave about 2 or 3 blocks right here, and that'll pretty much be that. And then for this pocket here, which is all of my cabling, again, just take it all the way up to the edge and all the way up to the edge here, and leave a little bit here so that way this is kind of a little bit thick and supports itself. And then putting in the top layer here, you can see that this is the main Quad Cortex area. So this is going to be a 2 block extension beyond the border all the way down here. It's going to be a 1 block extension here beyond the border. And then up here, this is going to be a 3 block extension. So border, 3 blocks out, and that's it. Then you're going to have a 1 block barrier here. Cut out the 2 blocks here, so that way it perfectly lines up with the bottom for your wireless system. Then you can also cut this out if you want to have a little bit of extra space to put stuff on top of the foot pedal. And then here for your cabling and other things like that, just hollow out the area that you did below. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at this case. For final thoughts, I definitely think that this is a pretty good value for money. It does the job, and it does it pretty well, without breaking the bank. But I had mentioned nano cases before, and honestly I think that this would be an even better setup with one of those. probably I would go for the 935 if it were me, which is a pretty large case, but it has wheels and it's got a little extendable handle so you can just roll it around sort of like a carry-on luggage for an airplane. And another thing about that is that with the 935, you can get it with padded or dividers and even a top lid organizer for keeping all of your cables and small accessories like my wireless system all in one place. And as a viewer of this channel, if you head over to Nanook using the link in the description, and you use my coupon code, you'll save a little bit of money with Dario15 at checkout. But with that being said, I hope you guys liked the video and got a lot out of it. And if you did, definitely make sure to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, since we're still trying to get to 1,000 subs. And I'd love to have you guys as a part of the community. Also, if you have any thoughts, definitely be sure to leave them down below. And with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.